I wanted to share kind of a popple, hodgepodge tidbits of wisdom podcast of different things. So much has happened in the last 2, 3 weeks, and they all over the place. So many different things: marriage, weddings, divorce, death, sickness, diagnosis, business, health issues. So many different things, not to mention the geopolitical conundrum in our world on every continent with every nation. Civil unrest, personal distress. It is a mess, everything that you are constantly bombarded with, not to mention the internal issues of your personal addictions. But the wisdom of the Lord. Make no mistake, the Lord is not drilling down and stressing about the human race like so many of us do. He's not stressing about the Middle East or Russia or China. Definitely not stressing about the US. He's not up in an uproar over Islam or Catholics, Hindus, feminists, the witches, the secularists, the evolutionists, the narcissists. No, he's not. He's not baffled, confused of the rabbit holes of the multiple conspiracies of our lives. He's not watching TikTok and Fox News, CNN, the UN, not worried about climate change or COVID or whatever other man-made virus. Heaven is not in disarray. His kingdom, his domain that governs all things, visible and invisible, in our observable and non-observable universe. No, not wringing his proverbial hands over what men, organizations, and religions are doing. You are, and sometimes even I, but not he, not our Lord, not our Maker. It's entirely different. And it would behoove us, to be our best interest, as much as possible, not to do the same as much as possible. Wringing our hands over what people do or don't do, what they listen to or not listen to, whether they follow or don't follow, whether they understand something or don't understand it, comprehend it or not. It's okay. You are free. You are free to be delusional. You are free to act like a nut. You are free as he has made you that way, not by any constitute of man's political wranglings, meanderings, writings, edicts, and ethos. It doesn't work that way. You're free. For anyone who wants to love the Lord, you are free to love him. And to whatever degree, you're free. You can love him a lot, love him a little, not at all. You're free. You're free to give all of yourself, none of yourself, or part of yourself. You're free. You're free to pick that one for your mentor, the other one for your guru, the other one for your sex partner. You're free. You're free to follow your truth, my truth, his truth, her truth, their truth, or no truth at all. You're free to believe a lie. You're free. But one thing that you should all know Freedom does come with a cost. And you should acknowledge that. Whatever you're free to do, whatever you're free to believe, however you want to live your life, however you want to characterize or mischaracterize, that's okay. There is a consequence to all that freedom. There is a consequence. And you'll reap it. It's like gravity, it's irreversible. And those that live their freedom under a willful shake or shackle to be a bond servant to the Lord, you know the reward that comes. The reward that comes to those for giving up their pride. The reward that comes to those that give up their possessions. The reward that comes to those that give up their will and submit it to God for his will. The reward that comes to those who put their brother's interests above their own. The reward that comes to those who love without complaint, give without restraint, and boldly declare without relenting. There is a great reward. And we know it's coming, but that's not why we do it, is it? Just like you don't sin because of the consequence. You ignore the consequence of sin. What about ignoring the reward of righteousness? It's just right to do. Oh, do you know what you're going to get if you do that? Oh, well, yeah, but I'm not doing it for that. Yeah, but you know what you win if you do that? Yeah. How many unbelievers and wickedness, drunks, addicts, sexual fiends, all kinds, greedy men. Yeah. When you're sinning, the consequence doesn't matter. You're told, greed is a consequence. Well, what about greed? The more I make. You live in the spirit of greed. It too is a consequence, not a reward. Israel found that out when they complained about not having meat. The greed for meat, the lust for meat, they got it so much so it made them sick. I'm going to give you so much you're going to just puke with it. Be careful. You'll get it. And you'll be so inundated with fulfilling your pleasure, whatever it is, that it'll be your death. That's why people smoke and ignore the warning on the pack of cigarettes. It's the sin they love, not the consequence of it. Why so many people give their life, give their money, give their time, give their obedience? It's the joy of that righteousness, not the reward of it. And there is a reward, yes, just like there is a wage of sin, there's also a reward. It's inevitable. You will be rewarded for righteousness, as is equally is inevitable. You will be punished for sin. It too is a type of reward. It's a byproduct. So if you listen to the podcast, talk to Guy and I, oh, you're under no stress. Don't worry about it. We don't stress about you. Don't you stress about us. We're not stressing about any of you. What you do or don't do, it doesn't work that way. Why would you stress about us? Let's all be mindful to simply do what God has called us to do. If there's anything that should cause you stress, it should be that. Did I say what I was supposed to say to that person, Lord? Did I receive the word I was supposed to receive from that person, Lord? Am I being obedient to what you've called me to do? Am I being obedient to what you called me to say? That's it. You want to stress about that, not about who's listening to you and who's not, what someone is saying to you or what they're not. See, most of you do not live in an audience to the Lord. You're still consumed with the voice of men, women, politicians, the world. Well, you have not yet learned how to tune God in your spirit. Because if you did, if you had, you would know when he's speaking to you, and from whence words come, it would resonate with the spirit within you. But it can't, because there's something, either you can't hear him, you're not in personal relationship, in your own personal spiritual devotion to him, in your heart, in your mind, because your interest is divided. And when your interests and heart and mind are divided, it'll be very hard for you to know when he's speaking to you, because the noise of your own will is much louder. That's the voice you hear. And any other voice that corroborates your own. But the voice of the Lord does not corroborate your own unless your heart is wholeheartedly devoted to him. You'll know anything that comes in your mind and heart that is not from him. Did you know that? Real easy to determine that. And some of you pretend and beg and have questions. It's useless questions you have. Ask a man a question about the things of the Lord for a man whose heart isn't fully given to the Lord. What kind of answer could you possibly comprehend or understand? You won't, because you're not all in. Doesn't work that way. But the Lord is faithful to his word, to himself. And these last few weeks, we see it, his faithfulness. So many answers to prayer, so many things that nobody knew we were struggling with. And out of the clear blue, someone is the answer to that prayer. And it's not always the people that are closest to you. You would think that the people that are closest to you would care the most about you. They don't. Some, very few, and rarely. But God does. And because the Lord does, and because you are the closest to the Lord, whether it's someone you know or someone you don't, it is the Lord that will move a rock, move a heart, cause a mind to think, to move, to act on the behalf of performing his will as it's exercised in your life. So you trust in the Lord with all your heart. And the tidbit of wisdom is always rolled up in that wonderful hoopah of love. That makes a difference. Just something for you to think about today as you consider yourself as a tool and instrument of God to use to ease your brother's pain, to visit the widow, to help the orphan, to feed the hungry, to share his word, to be bold to the world around you and those that have connection and interaction with you without shame, tepidness, weakness, or bitterness, but with a joy. Very important.